Hi and welcome to today's reading number 4 of chapter 2. And today I will read about the spectrum of limits. So last reading was about the difference between feelings and emotions. And I talked already in the base dynamic that you and everybody else is responsible for your feelings, your emotions, your limits and your boundaries. And today I will share about the spectrum of limits, because there's a broad variety. So let's begin. The spectrum of limits. The true power arises in knowing what you want, knowing what you don't want, expressing it clearly and lovingly without attachment to the outcome. Leonard Jacobson. Have you ever experienced a hell yes when asked if you want to do something that is exactly your cup of tea? Have you ever experienced a no without hesitation when someone asks you to do something strictly against your values? When it comes to boundaries and expressing your limits, you will have probably noticed a spectrum of feelings between a hell yes and a fierce no. Many of us hesitate in the confusion between these 2 points, lingering in indecisive mode, avoiding committing one way or the other, or lapsing into willing to without feeling comfortable doing so. Have you experienced that place that almost a no, but you were willing to because you love someone? The limits map helps you to identify exactly how you feel and to express that authentically in real time. And here we go. This is a spectrum of limits map. I don't know if you can see it. Now it's a little bit overexposed. There, now you can see it. So the spectrum of limits is from a hell yes to a fierce no. This is it's too wide from the lens of my camera, so apologies. Anyway, the video will somewhere here around, click it, and then you just get the explainer in the video as well. So the more embodied you are, the more aware you are of the subtle differences along the scale of a yes and a no. A hell yes. If someone asks you to do something for them, so it's their desire, and you feel a hell yes, I want exactly the same thing. It feels like it's for you too because you enjoy it, but it's actually for the person who made the request in the first place. It could be a win-win situation, but still it's for the person who initiated. So it can be a mixture between a request or an invitation. Nevertheless, they get what they want, and the fact that you get what you want too is secondary. There's a spectrum between how you respond to a request. We tend to default to a yes, no, or maybe most of the time, though there are other possibilities. Yes, I'm willing to, just for you. That means, yes, I'm willing to do that because I really love you. Yes, and setting a limit without a condition. That means it's a yes and something else is important to add, such as, yes, and I want to go to the bathroom, eat, drink, make a call first. Yes, but setting limits based on a boundary. That means it's a yes and you recognize your boundaries and set a limit during the agreement. Yes, I can give that, but only to this point and no further. You're curious. You need more information to be able to make up your mind. Maybe I don't know yet, I can't decide. Can you still tell me more about it? Or not knowing. Again, self-care is necessary here to know you have a choice and give yourself enough time to decide. For example, I can't make a decision right now. Maybe it's a no, maybe a yes, but I can't tell you right now. Uncertainty. If something doesn't sit well, it is threatened as a no, unless you are sure to feel comfortable with the request. I'm not sure because it doesn't feel right. You have a no, but a clear no. Whatever has been asked for is something you're not willing to do or have done to you, but you are open to a different request or have an idea about something else you're willing to. No to what you ask for, but would you like to ask for something else? No, but I have another idea. No, thank you. This recognizes that even if it's a clear no for you, you support the other person in owning their desire. Their desire is still valid even if you say no. So thanks for asking, but no, I don't want to do that. And a fierce no, just no way, with no explanation. So no is a full word, it doesn't need any more declaration. A fun exercise to experience your spectrum of limits. During the facilitation of cuddle parties I host, we always begin with an exercise to set a safe and fully aware container built on the principle of consent. All 4 rounds are played without going with any action, so the game is played to provide experiential insights into how a yes and a no feels in the body, as well as to practice asking for what we want and answering requests authentically. So how to play that? I suggest playing the 3-minute game with touch only after playing the first 4 rounds below. So round 1. Person I asks a question, can I or can you do such and such, and wait for the replay. Person B always answers no, even if they feel a yes. A few examples. Can I hold your hand? Can I massage your feet? Can I scratch your back? Can I have a hug? Can I lick your face? Can I pinch your, whatever that means? Can you suck my toes? Can I squeeze your tights? Can I stroke your hair? Can I bite your, whatever that is? Can you put your hand on my lower back? This is repeated for a few minutes with person A asking different questions and person B is replaying no each time. So you own your no. At the end of the round, person B closes their eyes and reflects on all the questions asked. What feels like a yes? And what felt like a no? What felt like a maybe? A maybe is a no until it feels like a yes. And did any other feelings from the spectrum map come up? Round 2. Switch roles. Person B asks, person B answers with no. Then closes their eyes and reflect as above. Round 3. Person A asks similar questions. Person B answers all questions with a yes. Also, when they don't want what's suggested. Remember, do not follow through on the actual touch. This game is purely for insights into how we internally feel when someone requests to touch us, ask us to touch them. So that means there's no action involved. Person B then closes their eyes to reflect as above. Round 4, you switch roles. Person B asks, person A answers with yes, and then close their eyes to reflect as above. Take a few minutes each to debrief your experience to each other. One talks for a few minutes while the other listens, and vice versa. So you exchange talking and listening. When each person is clear about what feels like a yes, what feels like a no, and other finer subtleties found in the spectrum of limits map, and can express their feelings authentically, it's time to play the 3-minute game. So, expressing your boundaries and limits. No is a complete sentence. That's a quote from Anne Lamont. Within somatic consent, when it comes to giving and receiving, we take each person's boundaries and limits into account. A boundary points to the extent to what a person is comfortable with, and everyone has a right to and a responsibility for their own boundaries. A limit is the communication of that boundary in the form of an agreement or permission which clearly states how far you and the other person is able to go. The core energy of having a boundary is the ability to express by saying, no, stop. That's as far as I'm willing to go, and making an agreement as such. So your limits are defined by the agreement you make. If there is no agreement, there is no limit, and boundaries crossing can happen easily. The boundary is an agreement. The boundary in an agreement is a solid no. The art of respecting someone's limit is guarding and protecting their boundaries instead of trying to get a little more when it feels right for you. You can identify your boundaries by noticing how you feel in any moment of engagement with another, which emotion is present. Do you feel anger? Anger is a healthy expression of reaching the edge of a boundary. But feeling anger can be scary. Have you ever experienced a fierce reactive no, fueled by anger at having your boundaries crossed in the past? We might worry that by feeling and expressing anger, we could be overpowered or drive others away. We also tend to worry that by expressing our needs and limits to people who aren't coming from a place of care but one of control, we make ourselves vulnerable by giving them the opportunity to see our weak spots. The shadows of not expressing your limits or of not respecting other people's limits is something we tend to avoid confronting. Overcoming the fear of confronting our shadows of automatic behavior is a lifelong process. But we have to start somewhere. A good place is to start by acknowledging that we all have shadows and survival strategies. They're part of who we are, and face them we must if we want to grow. Most of us have spent a large majority of our lives developing shadows to get our needs met. A more constructive approach would be activate the sensory inflow to increase awareness of own experience, learning how to fully receive. Create a solid base of self-care and know what we have a right to and responsibility for. Ask for what you really want. Tune into how you feel when someone asks you for what they want, recognizing your boundaries. Reply authentically and express clear limits. Make agreements within each person's limit. Now, let's take a deeper look at how to ask for what you want using a simple formula based on a permission and agreement. So, this is it for today. I will read the next one, a longer section, and that is the engagement zones in the system. Thank you for today for listening. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please put that in the section below. I will answer them personally. And again, this book is available on Amazon as Kindle, and you can get it as well on my webpage as an EPUB or as a PDF. And this is with the permission to share that with other people. So you just buy that once and you share that with whoever you would like to make a surprise. All right, thanks again for joining today. And if you choose, see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Love yourself.